Happy Saturday and welcome back. We're so excited to be with you. If you're new here, each week we talk with women in business, and this episode is no different. Before we jump in, let me introduce my amazing co-hosts, Stitches and Tracy Campoli.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, ladies.
So, ladies, I'm excited about this because we talk with a range of women, whether it's women who are just starting off or women who are super seasoned. But there's one thing that seems to be consistent. It's like stress levels. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question for you ladies. Does stress in life seem to match your tolerance level?
Ooh, yes. Have you ever noticed that when you meet someone, even if they have a different job or a different partner or a different house, they're either calm and happy, generally speaking, or really stressed out and a lot to complain about?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kind of no matter where you put the person, it's like, there's something wrong here. Something needs to be done. No one's pulling their weight. Or, hey, this is cool. This is nice. And what I've come to realize as a coach is that our stress level, our tolerance for stress is always met by the amount of stress that we actually see. So if our tolerance is reduced, sometimes we're taught, let's increase our tolerance for stress so we can handle more. But I say differently. I say decrease your tolerance for stress and you'll allow less in. What do you think, Tracy?
Oh, I 100% agree. It's like with people like you're saying that tend to always be stressed up, no matter how good life is, right? We all know people like that. It's like there must be some sort of payoff there. And I think that that's a great question to ask ourselves. It's like, what's the payoff? If you're if you find yourself always stressed out, and no matter what's happening, you're stressed out, there's got to be some kind of payoff. Is it the attention that you're getting? Is it that you're getting that badge of busyness? What is it? And I know that I used to fall prey to this myself, but I absolutely agree with you, Susie. It's like decrease your tolerance level so that you're no longer available for high stress. What about you, Stitches?
It's funny. And I was listening to this earlier today when a lot of the guys were saying, and you ladies know the saying, a happy wife, happy house. Is that it?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Once upon a time when I was working myself literally to the bone to where my body just sat me down. Like the Lord said, okay, you're going to sit down. My body got to the point where anytime I got stressed, I would get shocked. So that became literally my marker for when things were too stressful. I would get my nervous system would start shaking. I'm like, okay, I can't get involved. So now I don't need that anymore, thankfully, to where I have my own meter. I have my own stress meter. So it's like, if it messes with my peace, better I'm not dealing with it. If it messes with my peace, I can't deal with it.
So stress is never fun, right? I mean, we can all agree on that. But oftentimes there's a difference when we're in true alignment with what I like to call our highest self. So I'm curious about you guys. Like, what are tools or techniques that you ladies use to balance your mind and your heart with that highest self so that you're making good business decisions and not being too stressed out?
Oh, it's so good, that question. Yeah. I think that, our emotions are this amazing source of real-time data for what we're thinking. Yeah. And a lot of things go wrong in life. Welcome to Earth School, right? Like, we're here to learn. And if I feel like a negative charge in my body, also known as stress, it is almost like this invitation to go, okay, what am I believing about this situation? I'm going through a couple of changes here, new hire, etc. And I'm thinking like, oh, if something's new or I haven't dealt with it before, instead of thinking, I don't know how to do that, or, what if I mess this up? It's like, could there be another way of looking at it? Like, I don't have to be perfect.
One tool that I have to do daily, and it's funny, I do this every day, whether it's a set time, but I have to take a second to where I have to pray. And whether it's 5 minutes, it may be 2 minutes, it may be 5 minutes, it may be 30 minutes, but I have to take a second. And it's funny, one of my pastors was saying, like, if it disturbs your peace, you kind of have to check it. Yeah. And I have to be in a place where even maybe 10 minutes ago, my mind was like, I was going through my mind like it was a windmill, everything that I had to do, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, whoa, okay, check yourself. And I just had to pray. I'm like, all right, I'm ready, let's go. So if it doesn't make sense with what I need to do now, I got to move on and I have to come back to it later.
You know, one of my friends, a very, very good friend, maybe you guys know her. Her name is Oprah. I saw her live. And one of the things that she talked about is like just pausing. And she said, this happens. So like, she'll do this in a meeting, doesn't matter who she's with. And she'll just take the pause and let herself connect. And she said people really freak out because, like, number one, she's Oprah, but also it's like, what is she doing? And we're not used to like people just taking that moment. And I think just allowing ourselves, no matter who's in the room, no matter what the situation is, you don't necessarily have to do something like this, but if you just like take a deep breath or just say, you know what, like I need a second or whatever is going on, and just allow yourself to connect in. I think we give ourselves so much more permission. Well, we are just warming up. The conversation is going to continue when we return from the break, so make sure you don't turn that channel.
Marketing for local businesses is critical, but it can be pretty confusing. At Vivial, we work with you to understand your business and individual marketing needs to tailor a custom-designed solution so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Want to learn more about Vivial's digital marketing services? Find us online at vivial.net/Natalie.
Our next guest went from a 9-to-5 job and having health issues, decided to follow her dreams, and now coaches others to do the same. Prepare yourself to be inspired because we have Kimberly Lucht here with us today. Welcome, Kimberly.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Yeah.
I'm so blessed to know you in real life, and I'm so happy you're here with us.
Oh, this is such a treat to be on here with you, Susie, and Stitches and Tracy. It's so exciting.
We were told that you started your 9-to-5 and you realized that you wanted to be an entrepreneur. First question is, when did you realize that? And when did you realize that's where you wanted to take your career, just to be an entrepreneur?
I resisted the idea of becoming an entrepreneur at the very beginning. And I think a lot of times in our crossroads in life, our body will show us the way and in ways that we don't necessarily think are like guiding us down the right path. So like, if you find that your body is betraying you in some odd ways, like for me, it was like low-grade seizures and skin conditions and eye conditions that at 25, I shouldn't have been having at all. And so sometimes our bodies will speak for us. And once the denial of, what you really, truly are meant for, like gets big and large enough, your bodies will protest. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I think a lot of us can relate to an experience like that.
Like Stitches, the same thing happened with you, right? This is what we're talking about. The body knows. The body is wise.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard that. Your body will protest. I
want to hear, now that you've made this transition, what about coaching actually brings you the most joy now?
You know what's funny is that before I became an official coach, I had been coaching for probably over a decade. Like in high school, my friends would come to me. I bet Susie feels the same way. Your colleagues come to you, people that you work with or around will come to you for advice. And that was one of the best signals that I got of like, what do people come to me for? And I think that's something to always ask yourself is, what are the things that people need most from me? And what is the best way that I can serve? And usually the people around you will show you what that is. Because sometimes you don't exactly know what your magic, style or flair is. And at the end of the day, sometimes the cards reveal themselves with people that, come into your life. So for me, it was actually Susie, one of the first coaches that I knew about. Susie was the first coach that I, looked up to and admired and got really inspired by. And she's the best. She's the best human.
No, you hang up. You hang up. It's like, we can go on and on.
I know praise. It's like the fangirls and all this. Yeah, like the praise. I know it's so important to detach from that and all those, everything, because truthfully, like the only thing that matters is that you bring your best soul work out into the world.
You have such a pleasantness about you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like when you talk, it's very pleasant. And speaking of that, you have something, you mentioned the 6-figure, but you also have something called the Rich and Soulful Coach, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Oh, yeah. This is another soul opening gift that came through me during the pandemic. It's like, this needs to come out. This needs to come out. And it's a program of mine that is for women who want to have a coaching business that fills their heart and bank account. And so that's something that I think is, you want both the, like, it lights you up and it also lights up your bank account, lights up your, money. Like, you want both. And so that's like for women who are thinking of becoming coaches or who are coaches, who want that in their life, who want both the time freedom and the financial freedom, because like we know, one without the other isn't really that great. And it can be kind of I see a lot of coaches that either are totally booked out or totally blissed out, but not the combination.
I love this, and everyone should definitely check this out. So what's coming up for you next, Kimberly, and where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
So next is, amplifying both of those things. I think those have been the two gifts from my heart that have really amplified and changed people's lives. And so the Soulful 6-Figure Roadmap, that's a free gift from my heart to yours. And the Rich and Soulful Coach, you'll see deets on that on my website. That's definitely, just my heart's extension to you. So
yes, and can we just say, make this just announcement? You are allowed to be wealthy and spiritually full. I mean, this is our obligation, right?
Yes.
Both. I mean,
Yes.
even to quote the Bible here, such as you're like this, God, it gives God pleasure to give you His kingdom. Right?
Come on.
Let it go, baby. Thank you, Kimberly. We have more guests and more great information coming up next, so stay tuned. But first, we're at the table with Tommy. And later, we're talking e-commerce with Kayla Burke. Stay close.
You are at the table with Tommy Vincent, where there is always a seat reserved with your name on it. This week, we're going to talk about being honest with ourselves. The affirmation from the You Will is, I will be honest with me. It's one thing when we have lies given to us by other people. We can survive those lies. But when we lie to ourselves, we are now living a life that is deceptive and is not honest with who we are and who we've been created to be. On the Stay a While podcast, I have a conversation. In the context of honesty, we make excuses for why we continue to engage with people that are harmful. We tell the lies over and over and over again. And what happens? We waste time. And the only time that we can get the time back that we lost is by simply cutting those relationships off. I want to encourage you this week with your hard work to really be honest with yourself and to build trust with your inner voice. Now on Stay a While Show page on Instagram, I'm having these open and honest conversations. So hit us up in our DMs and let us know some topics that you would like to discuss. And as always, please make sure that you're tuning into Stay a While podcast on Apple Podcasts and everywhere that you listen to your podcasts. I'm so grateful that you joined me today for this soul food. And remember, life happens at the table. So meet me there.
We are back. Thanks for joining us this Saturday. We are just getting into some great conversations, and we're so excited to talk with our next guest. Help me welcome Kayla Burke from the Sky High Club. Welcome, Kayla.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, AKA Fabulous Edges. We see you.
Yes.
So, Kayla, let's jump right into it if that's okay. Tell us more about the Sky High Club. What is that all about?
So, the Sky High Club was this awesome idea I came up with for this e-commerce site during COVID. So, It is an upscale smokers website where you can get accessories for cannabis or hookah, which are just really growing industries here in the US, as we all know. So I wanted to take advantage because a lot of these places were closed during the pandemic. So it was really a great way to not only like fuel my passion to do something in an e-commerce space, but to also just be able to have an upscale smoking experience. They're like nothing you've ever seen. So I really love that. It's like my baby.
Kayla, you own the e-commerce business, which has gone through a lot of shifts this past year, but you have a strong background in tech at IBM and including now. So tell us, what are some of your predictions for tech when it comes to the future? All I want to do is talk about predictions all day, by the way.
Okay.
What have you got for us?
I have some really cool predictions, and it's really funny because I'm the girl who walks around and tells everyone like, y'all, this is about to happen. Like, I hope you guys are prepared. But
we need to call you.
Yeah, give me your number.
So I just think that there'll be a major shift in influencers online. I think that by companies now allowing end users to have the control of their data with all of the new privacy regulations. So California just enacted the CCPA, Virginia just enacted some data privacy laws, and there's been many changes from a marketing perspective where a lot of companies were selling our data or utilizing our data to be able to understand us in a consumer profile and be able to market things to us. So now the power is shifting back to the individual user where we are allowed to say, hey, I don't want you tracking me because I don't want to be a profile or I don't want to be profiled in a certain way. So with that, I am trying to see a lot of now social media influencers being probably paid more or reaching out to, because if you can't connect with the person, you probably want to connect with the people that they interact with the most, right? I also see a major shift in just transparency. I know that Apple announced a really major shift last week in their data privacy, and all my apps this week have been asking like, am I allowed to track you? And I think it's so cool because we've been, being tracked for so long and a lot of people have no idea. So being able to now have a transparent communication with end users, I think is amazing.
So can you share with us some advice on how to navigate in different interests?
So I know for me, it was a real struggle coming out of college. I've always been extremely personated and outgoing. Tech is a more like quiet space. If you're a coder or a developer, you're not really like talking much. You might just be on your computer a lot. So I did feel a bit boxed in when I got into the space in a way, especially working in a corporate atmosphere, having digital presence. It's like, a lot you have to balance. But my advice would just be to be yourself, be organic, like stay true to what you love. My Instagram, so many people reach out to me because I have e-commerce. I mean, I've done things in real estate. I've done Airbnb. I'm just a hustler. I like to make money. So anything in a digital space intrigues me because it's at the click of our hands now, so many ways that you can indulge in different areas of whatever you can think of, or even bring it to life on this online space. So I think just being able to figure out what you're interested in, because there's so many things, even if you may not be the most tech savvy person, there are ways that you can work around that in this digital space. But I really think just being confident, staying true to yourself and understanding what your goals are, just set a goal and knock it out. Like, honestly, the sky's the limit. And that's part of the reason that I made this.
Hi, Club.
I do believe that, especially being a young African American woman in certain spaces, like the representation is extremely important. And I take a lot of pride in being able to not only inform people, but also motivate people to understand like the sky is really the limit and you can do whatever you set your mind to, especially with the internet being what it is today.
Kayla, we are just loving you. You are really dropping so many gems today. I know so many people must be so inspired and are like, get out their phone right now, start following you. So tell us how people can reach you.
So my Instagram is at the Kayla B _. And it's just Kayla and then the B, like my last name, with the underscore. And I have YouTube as well. It's just Kayla Burke. And my website, if you want to check out some of our products, it's called Shop the Sky High Club. So that's the best way to reach me.
So great. Thank you so much for being here today. And everyone stay tuned. Yes, you're amazing. Stay tuned because our next guest is a very good friend of our show. It's Christy Primer, and she is sharing how crushing your goals and building genuine connections can change your future.
Welcome back to Crush It with Christy. I'm Christy Primer, president of Primetime Consulting Services. My company is all about educating and empowering women to get back in the driver's seat of their own lives. I believe that healthy and wealthy women change our world. I help women transform from saying one day about their dreams to actually living them right now. I would love to support you in your next step and help you get the confidence that you need to go after the life that you're craving. Connect with me on Instagram or on my website, and we'll catch you next time on Crush It with Christy.
Hello, and welcome back, South Florida. We're excited to bring our next guest, Aretha Rodney, here. She's a mom, spoken word artist, singer, and soon-to-be author. Welcome, Aretha.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Aretha. We know all Arethas are fabulous and famous, so you're among the best of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Aretha, you express your art through different mediums, correct?
Yes.
So tell us why it is important to do more than just one thing.
So one thing that I'm honored that I have the opportunity to actually bless people in different areas by either my spoken word or by my songwriting and my singing. And what I try not to do is highlight one gift and stifle the other. So I try my best to balance it out because there's some people that I can reach through spoken word and others I can reach with different art. So what I try not to do to myself, is literally confine myself to one thing. God was gracious enough to bless me with different gifts and talents. So I try to use it as much as I can to reach as much audience as I can. And who knows, maybe down the line, there's some more hidden talents that I'm not aware of. I'll use those equally as well.
Nice.
I know you are speaking to the right people here. We are all about that. So you do talk about one thing that often people can say it's not really the sexiest topic to explore, and that's regret. Women that are dying with their purpose inside of them still. So can you talk to us a little bit more about that and how you...
Definitely. So I believe that we all were placed on this earth for a purpose and with a purpose. And a lot of times we give fear so much leeway in our life, and we listen to the lies of fear that tells us we're not qualified enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not smart enough to go after our purpose and our dreams and our heart's desires. And for years, some people actually build on that. I can't do it because I'm not enough. And the sad reality of it is a lot of people leave this earth and did not get the chance to even tap into what their purpose on this earth was. So I always tell people, do not die with that thing. Do not die with that purpose. There is a world changer inside of some of us. And if we could just only tap into it, we will blow our own mind. So I always say, don't let fear determine your future. If whatever your heart's desire is, go after it. And I'll say this to the ladies that are watching that don't know what their purpose is. My suggestion to you is ask God, what was I placed on this earth to do? That way you can live a purpose-driven life. Do not die with your purpose.
And we mentioned this earlier that you are working on a book, or you have a book coming out. So can you tell us about the book and the title? Give us the whole deets on it.
Okay, so the book is literally in the baby stage, like literally the baby stage.
A baby book.
Yeah, like literally the baby stage. Still in the belly baby stage,
Okay.
So what I'm looking to do with this book is basically inspire. Just give some hope in right now. I'll call it a hopeless world because with everything that's going on, people need just a little bit of hope to grab onto. And I would love to be a part of that, So This book is going to be filled with poems, spoken word poems that I've done in the past, and just poems that I'm working on right now. As far as giving like a release date or a title, all of that is still in the works. Again, it's baby steps.
That's beautiful. Well, congratulations in advance, darling.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Aretha, thank you for sharing about your book. We also want to know where people can find you and find your work. So definitely let us know.
Yes, so right now you can find my work on Instagram and YouTube. My Instagram handle is Aretha Rodney Artistry, and my YouTube is Aretha Rodney. It's filled with videos just to encourage you and just to, motivate you and inspire you.
So, Aretha, darling.
Yes.
Can we, I don't know, can we get a little taste of what your poetic sound?
Sure. I will do, because of time, I will do my shortest poem.
We'll take it.
Okay, here we go. I remember the days I used to feel the need to defend my character. Now my response is filled with a whole lot of, oh, okay. God bless you. See, because I have no time to entertain misery. Because misery loves company, they say. So when misery comes out to play, I'll stop it on its way and let it be known, not today. Because if you ask me, the lies people create is just the underline of hate that they got for themselves. So they try to pin that energy onto someone else. But they don't realize the more they lie, the more pressure that's applied. The more they hate, the more God elevate. The more they plot, the more blessings unlock. See, I would tell you to stop, but I'm not defined by the narrative of me that you created in your mind. Now, I'm as unperfect as they come, but the last time I checked, only God can judge. That's my most shortest.
That was amazing, Aretha, at Aretha Rodney Artistry. Thank you so much for sharing your art with us, darling.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we wish you well. God bless you on all of your endeavors, sis.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you, Aretha.
Don't move, ladies, and I know we got some gentlemen watching as well. We're grateful for you watching. Stay where you are. More when we come back.
Stop Checking Your Likes is the hottest must-read of the moment. This is not a book about social media. It's about shaking off that need for approval and living your incredible life. It's available everywhere books are sold.
Well, wow, gosh, ladies, what amazing guests we had today. What a show. I hope you got as much out of all of this today as I have. I feel moved and emotional right now.
I do. I'm excited, and we, of course, thank all of you for watching. And if you're enjoying the conversation, you can follow us on all social media platforms, including Facebook, and join our VIP club. Yes?
Yes. And if you're enjoying all this girl boss magic, and we know that you are, you want to catch all of our past episodes over on our YouTube channel. You can binge watch them Netflix style on Natalie's Network.
And don't forget to join our membership. Head on over and register today at theconnectonline.com.